Picking out the millionaires from the many people passing us by is trickier than you think. Millionaires hold a much humbler appearance than we usually see on TV shows. Many of them present a humble appearance on purpose. So before you think you can pick out the well-off in the crowd, they may just be walking around with an ordinary appearance like most crowds. Millionaires and billionaires are much more considerate of their money than they seem. How much of their income they spend on expenses and how they decide to spend their money is quite unexpected, and many of these surprising amounts come from having good spending habits. So, in this video, we're going to talk about what these spending habits are. By the end of this video, you can try these habits too. Hey everyone, and welcome to Upthink. If you accidentally came across this video or it is a setup by the algorithm, this may be the video for you. Here at Upthink, we teach tips and tricks that can help you in your everyday life, whether practical or financial advice. If videos like these interest you, give us a chance and hit that subscribe button for more educational content. We have many videos in store, so hit that notification bell to see any new releases from us. In 5 years, Thomas Corley, the author of Rich Habits, surveyed more than 200 millionaires to examine their distinctive personality traits and spending habits. This study focused on individuals with net liquid assets of at least $3.2 million, consisting of cash, bank deposits, and quickly exchangeable investments like stocks, as well as an annual gross income of at least $160,000. In this study, Thomas Corley discovered the different types of millionaires, namely 4. Number 1. Saver Investor. This type of millionaire prioritizes saving and investing their money to accumulate wealth over time. They are often disciplined in spending habits and regularly set aside a portion of their income for saving and investing purposes. This type of millionaire may also be cautious with their investment decisions, carefully researching and analyzing potential investments before committing their money. Their focus on saving and investing allows them to grow their wealth steadily over time and achieve financial security. This kind of millionaire is the type most average people resonate with and has the highest reflection of showing how anyone can be wealthy. Number 2. Company Climbers. This type has achieved significant financial success by climbing the corporate ladder of a large organization. They may have started in an entry-level position and worked their way up the ranks, often demonstrating strong leadership skills and a commitment to hard work and perseverance. This type of millionaire may have earned a high salary, stock options, and other benefits from a senior executive position. Their financial success is often closely tied to the success of the company they work for, and they may have a significant portion of their wealth tied up in company stock or other investments related to their job. Number 3. Virtuosos. This kind of millionaire has achieved financial success through exceptional skills and talents in a particular field, such as music, sports, or entertainment. They have often dedicated their lives to honing their craft and have a deep passion for what they do. Their success may come from natural ability, hard work, and opportunities that arise from their talent. This type of millionaire may earn a high income through their work and from endorsements, sponsorships, and other related ventures. Their financial success is closely tied to their continued success in their field, and they may need to manage their wealth carefully to ensure long-term financial stability. Number 4. Dreamers. This type has achieved financial success through entrepreneurial pursuits, often driven by a vision or dream for their business or product. They are often creative and innovative thinkers who are not afraid to take risks to pursue their goals. This type of millionaire may have started with little or no resources, but was able to turn their idea into a successful business through hard work, determination, and strategic planning. Their financial success is often tied to the success of their business, which they may have built from the ground up. They may also have a passion for social or environmental causes and seek to make a positive impact through their business ventures. Their success may result from their ability to see opportunities where others do not and persevere in facing challenges. The perception of a millionaire as a high-ranking executive at a Fortune 500 company or a successful business owner with an innovative idea is common. Still, the reality is that many millionaires are ordinary individuals who have achieved this financial milestone through the saver investor route. This approach requires neither exceptional intelligence nor extensive education, and it involves investing in reliable ventures with a history of growth rather than taking high risks. As a result, there are a few barriers to entry for this category of millionaires. Regardless of their background, anyone can start down the path to wealth accumulation at any time. Graduating from high school or starting with limited resources does not preclude one from achieving millionaire status. With his research, Thomas Corley realized that to be a saver investor type of millionaire, you must keep a habit of limiting your expenses to 80% or lower of your net income. He realized that saver investors set aside at least 20% or even more would be better of their net income for savings. They would then repeatedly invest these savings by adopting a frugal way of thinking and keeping this habit of investing as a priority. Being a millionaire may not be that difficult, and according to Corley's survey, most people go by the saver investor route in becoming a millionaire. So that leaves the question: how have the saver investors organized their costs to be thrifty and avert carelessness in spending? Let us elaborate on this, and maybe after this, you can realize some things you can do to get on that millionaire road. Let us begin with housing. Housing is the biggest expense for most people, often because we would rather buy or rent a place that is too expensive for our income and be unwilling to compromise by living with roommates or choosing a less desirable location. Consequently, we end up spending a large portion of our income on housing. However, saver investor millionaires take a more moderate approach to housing expenses, maintaining them at 25% or lower of their monthly net pay. They are appeased with a smaller home or apartment, which diminishes some of their mortgage or rent, utilities, and other related expenses. They are willing to give up on a few things, like when it comes to location, recognizing the importance of thriftiness in this area, and understanding that being satisfied with a less desirable location will be worth it in the long run. Extravagant spending on housing can hinder the ability to save and invest aggressively, so being mindful of housing expenses is crucial to building wealth. But with the rent and house rates of today, 25% might just be a little difficult. Now, this is understandable. From years past to now, there has been a constant increase in housing prices regardless if it is rent or buying property. While it is not ideal for growing your wealth, spending 30% of your income on living accommodations is acceptable if you opt for a humble home. It is important to note that Crowley's study was conducted several years ago, and societal norms have since evolved. However, the focal point of spending appropriately on living accommodations remains unchanged. The key conclusion is that millionaires spend within their means and do not prioritize showing off or adhering to social expectations. If you are pursuing the saver investor path, it is important to follow this same mindset. Next, cars. Tom Corley's study found that millionaires typically use only 5% or lower of their net income on transportation expenses, including car payments, insurance, gas, tolls, registration fees, repairs, and maintenance. This may surprise some, given that transportation is often the second largest expense for a regular household after housing. It is worth noting, however, that the saver investor millionaire group in the study spent less than 5% of their net pay for transportation, showing that it is possible to limit this expense even further. Despite occasional ownership of expensive vehicles, millionaires do not necessarily allocate a significant portion of their income to transportation costs. Working with just 5% may seem like a stretch, but there are a few means you can do it. One is taking public transportation instead if you're able to, like when going to work or any other place. Another is subtracting your car payment from the budget. This can be one of the most freeing financial moves you make. Why not take a leap and aim to save up for that new or used vehicle with some steady savings if it is possible? And lastly, take responsibility when driving. Keeping your car in good condition will reduce repair costs when needed. If you maintain a good condition of your car, this can reach quite a long lifespan and thus will cost you less while helping you reach that millionaire status. Now, another cost is clothing. As conscious as humans can be of their appearance, the millionaires on Corley's survey are not fond of spending so much on clothes. Only a maximum of 5% of their net income is used to purchase clothing and accessories. Contrary to what we see on television or social media posts, these wealthy people would instead save and spend more than 20% of their income on some famous fashion brand. Despite having millions in their bank accounts, many of these people wear common clothes. You can see why they can blend so well in the crowd. They put more value in actually being wealthy rather than just looking the part. Moving on, we also have food and household items. Though millionaires may be superior in terms of wealth, by the end of the day, they are just humans like all of us with basic needs like food and hygiene. So, saver investors put a maximum of 15% of their take-home pay into these necessities. Rather than getting takeout every day or regularly eating out, millionaires are conscious of how much money they put into these costs. Not just how much food they intake, but also how much food they waste is considered too. We may not feel it at the time, but the cost of wasting food is a much larger amount than we think. Next, let us talk about vacations. Now again, we're only human, so we all need breaks sometimes. Taking time off work for vacations is a welcome break for most of us. The survey's millionaire participants made Corley discover that you do not have to spend so much to enjoy making great memories. According to the study, millionaires spend a maximum of 5% of their net income on vacation trips, which is a stark contrast to how ordinary people do. Average families tend to spend a great deal on yearly family trips, whether it is a trip to some famous resort during school break or a fancy getaway in some city. These types of vacations can be quite pricey for a middle-class household. For example, a family of 4 can easily spend more than $10,000 on a trip to another city. If your household income is just $100,000, that is a whopping 10% reduced in no time. If you are aiming to be a saver investor millionaire, then know that it is possible to spend some amount of money from your net pay for your vacation trips as long as it is within reason. Saver investors do not shy away from having vacations or any other leisure expenses, but they do take it in a humble, low-cost manner. They do not put their money out all in one go for that one trip. Instead, they consider having some money set aside for the basic cost of everyday life and other subsequent trips to occur. Continuing off other leisure expenses, the last expense we're going to talk about is entertainment. This kind of cost can depend on the person's interests and hobbies. To stay within a balanced budget, the millionaires from Corley's study allocate just 10% or less of their after-tax income toward entertainment. This includes dinners out with friends, movie nights, and streaming subscriptions, all activities to be enjoyed in moderation as extra monthly outings can add up. Investing wisely instead could set you on the path toward financial success. If you're interested in learning more about how to save and where to put your money, be sure to check out our other videos and subscribe for more similar content in the future. In fact, let us know in the comments below which expense cost spending habit feels the most possible for you. We would love to hear what you think. So how do saver investors set aside at least 20% of their net incomes, and what can we do to be on the same path? For example, if a person earns an annual income of $50,000, setting aside that 20% would equal a monthly saving of $750. That 20% is possible if they work smart by increasing their income and reducing high costs simultaneously. The first step you want to do is lay out your expenses and how much you spend for each of them. Like, say, transportation. If you reduce your vehicle costs by taking public transport, you can save some money meant for fuel or car repairs per month. Many public transportations are much cheaper, like the bus are much cheaper, which costs only about $100 monthly. Most people spend about $1,000 per month on transportation, which is heavy for humble earnings, so you can imagine how much you will be saving. There is also the option of housing. If you do not want to cut back by moving to a smaller home, you can use your space for other money-making alternatives instead. If you own that property, you can have someone rent a portion of your home. If you are a renter, if you have the necessary abilities, you might volunteer to help with the house renovations such as repairs, cleaning the lawn, or any other ways to keep the property in good condition. These acts can be a gateway to the negotiation of lowering rent costs and add to that 20% savings goal that you are aiming for. Housing and transportation are some of the heavier expenses you can reduce, so once you have managed these, determine how much more is needed to reach those 20% savings from your after-tax income. You can sacrifice some of your budgets from your leisure or entertainment or do more hours at your job through overtime. 20% is not an easy target, but nothing is impossible as long as you are determined. And that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed it or learned a thing or two from this video, please do leave us a like and subscribe to be part of our lovely community. We hope to see you again in the next video. Bye for now.